Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on my wedding makeup. Every single person asked to see a tutorial of the makeup that I wore for our Irish wedding on Friday the 19th of August. It was such a perfect day. Patty and I are just so happy, and we just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you for all of the sweet and kind messages. We haven't stopped receiving all of these messages from you guys of just congratulations and just the sweetest things ever. So thank you guys so much for your support and love. We just really appreciate it. There is going to be a bigger formal wedding in Canada in October, which you guys already knew about, so I will be doing a tutorial for that as well because I am going to do my own hair and makeup. It will be a little bit more formal, but this makeup I just really wanted to share with you guys because I used a palette that I've been wanting to use forever, and I thought, why not use it on my wedding day? So I decided to do a very bronzy but wine colored look, just because I felt like it went with the whole vibe I was trying to do. I wore a very simple but classy dress. It was under 50 pounds from ASOS. I will link it down below. A lot of you guys were wondering. This makeup was just very simple and classy, but had a little bit more sexiness to it with the wine undertones. I decided to pull my hair back for the tutorial so that I could really focus on the makeup for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and let's get started. So starting off, I used my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched face base, and I just applied it with a beauty sponge, and then afterwards I used my Lauder Mercier translucent powder and put it on top. So I was setting my face base with the powder before foundation, and this just ensures that I don't get too oily throughout the day. It seriously works. Foundation I wore was the Estee Lauder Double Wear in Tawny. I'm not as tanned as I was before my wedding because I did do a little self tan before, but hopefully I can just blend it in to make it look like it matches. But I just love this foundation because of the longevity. It lasts forever. Some people find there's flashback, but I just put a powder on top of it all so that doesn't happen, and bronzer, and you're good to go. For concealer, I used my two favorites, which are the Nars Radiant Cream Concealer in Custard, and I just put this on any redness or spots that I had. And for under my eyes, I used my Too Faced Coconut Water Concealer in Light. I wanted my face to look really fresh and not overdone, so I just really took my time in the morning to blend out all of the products that I was using so it didn't look too heavy on my face. I'm going to set under my eyes with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I'm only doing it under my eyes and not the rest of my face because the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation almost has like a powdery finish to it in the sense where it dries matte, so you don't really need to set all of it. If you want to, you can, but I find that powder goes on top of it just fine without setting it. Moving on to bronzer, I used my NYX matte bronzer in medium and just a Loud Makeup bronzing brush, and I didn't go intense with the contour. I just really bronzed up all the areas that you would contour, but I really buffed it out so it looked a lot more soft and not so harsh, just because I find if you do an intense contour that in pictures it just looks a little bit more intense, and I just wanted to look bronzy and glowy. Of course, I had to contour my nose on my wedding day. I just feel like it's something that I feel a little bit extra comfortable in, but if you don't contour your nose, then you can skip this part. Next, I'm going to take my beauty sponge and my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and we're just going to bake in the areas that you get a little bit oilier and just to carve out the cheeks so it looks a little bit sleeker and cleaner. Of course, on your wedding day, you can do any kind of makeup you want. You just want to feel like yourself. So if you feel like rocking red lips and a deep smoky eye, go for it. There's no specific or right way to do wedding makeup. It's whatever makes you feel comfortable and beautiful. That's all that should matter. So I'm just doing the things that I really like on myself and make me feel really comfortable and just like a little bit more enhanced. While this is baking, I'm going to move on to blush, and I wore MAC Mineralized Blush in Warm Soul. It's a beautiful peachy bronzy color. I think it's really, really pretty. So I'm just going to use it on this angled brush and just blend it from the apples of my cheek all the way up, and I just love the effect it gives. I'm just going to buff that powder off so it doesn't look as stark and it blends it into the blush. For highlight, I didn't want it to be too intense. That was just personal preference, but I wanted it to be a very bridal pinky glow, so I used the 17 Shimmer Brick in the pink color, and I just used my fingers and swiped them across the top two lighter shades and just dabbed it on the tops of my cheek and my eyebrows and my collarbones. I wore a Bardot style dress, so I just wanted a little bit of sheen on my collarbones. Now moving on to my eyes, I used the Tom Ford Brow Sculptor in Taupe, And I did a very natural but straighter brow, so just brushed up the hairs. And I didn't want too much of a stark line in the front, so I just lightly sketched that in. But starting right after the front, I drew a line on the bottom and just extended my brow a little bit. And then wherever there was sparse areas, I just went in and did little hair-like strokes. So I had them just like that, very simple, but a little bit bushier and straighter. All right, now going on to the fun part, I use the Tom Ford Honeymoon palette, and I know this is a little bit expensive, but it was my wedding day. It's called the Honeymoon palette, and it's the most beautiful colors ever, so I just really wanted to use it. But as a transition shade, I did just use my NYX Medium Matte Bronzer just in the crease of my eye just before I dipped into my Honeymoon palette. Now dipping into the Honeymoon palette, I'm going to take the bronzy shade on that same blending brush and just go on the outer corner of my eye. With this color, I'm going to slightly bring it onto the lid so that it just gives a wash of that bronze shade. Then taking a MAC 217 brush and dipping it into this nice cranberry shade, I'm going to put this a little bit more on my lid, but still on the outer corner. Then actually taking the little angled brush that the kit comes with, I'm going to dip it into the darkest cranberry wine color and create a little bit of a cat eye shape. Then taking my beauty sponge, I'm just going to clean up the side of my eye just to make it look a little bit sharper. Dipping my finger into the lightest shade in the palette, I'm going to pop this in the inner corner of my eye. Taking that small angled brush, which has a little bit of that deep color, I'm going to bring in that bronzy shade and put it on the outer corner of my lower lash line. For my waterline, I'm going to use Colourpop's Get Paid liner, which is a beautiful rose gold color. Of course, I couldn't get married without rocking my Tom Ford liquid liner and creating a cat eye. I've had a lot of coffee this morning, so hopefully this all goes well. For mascara, I wore my Tom Ford Waterproof Extreme Mascara, and I just recommend any mascara that's waterproof just in case you shed a tear, which is highly likely. I definitely cried a little bit on my wedding day. The lashes that I wore on my wedding day were the Illamasqua 21 lashes, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these on. Now moving on to lips, I'm taking my MAC Whirl liner with Sephora number 13, which is a liquid matte lipstick, and it's very hydrating. It's not drying on the lips. I chose to wear this color just because it has some depth to it, so in pictures it won't wash me out, and it does last long, so I didn't have to reapply it much. And then to keep all my makeup in place, I used my Essence Keep It Perfect makeup setting spray, and did a couple sprays of this. It's all out, isn't it? There you go. It's probably the last use I'm gonna get out of it. So that's it for my wedding makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had the most magical day and I'm so excited for round 2. I will definitely be filming another makeup tutorial because I'm going to be doing my hair and makeup for the Canada wedding as well. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me so much. If you guys also wanted to see a hair tutorial for what I wore in the Ireland wedding, then just let me know in the comments down below. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day and week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.